A formidable display of naval power is currently unfolding in the strategic waters of the Sea of Japan, as the Russian Federation and the People's Republic of China commence their large-scale joint maritime exercise, codenamed Joint Sea-2025. This annual drill has taken on a vastly expanded scope and significance this year, representing the most ambitious demonstration of military cooperation between the two nations to date. Fleets of warships, submarines, and combat aircraft from Russia's Pacific Fleet and China's People's Liberation Army Navy have converged to conduct a series of complex warfighting scenarios, sending an unambiguous message of their deepening strategic alignment to the world. The exercise is not merely a technical training opportunity. It is a powerful piece of geopolitical theater taking place on the doorstep of key United States allies, including Japan and South Korea. In an era of escalating global tension, this deliberate showcase of combined military might serves as a direct counterweight to the network of alliances led by the United States in the Indo-Pacific region. It is the physical manifestations of the no-limit partnership that Moscow and Beijing have increasingly proclaimed, moving their cooperations from diplomatic statements and economic agreements into the realm of integrated high-end military operations. The sheer scales of the participating forces and the complexity of the planned drills underscore a shared determination to challenge the long-standing maritime dominance of the United States Navy and to reshape the regional security architecture in their favor. This is a partnership forged in shared opposition to the current global order, and Joint Sea-2025 is its sharpest edge. The impressive roster of military hardware gathered for Joint Sea-2025 provides a clear indications of the exercise's serious intent. The Russian Pacific Fleet has deployed some of its most capable assets, including guided missile cruisers that serve as the command ships of the fleet, powerful destroyers, anti-submarine corvettes designed for coastal and blue water operation, and nuclear-powered attack submarines whose stealth and endurance make them a potent threat. From the Chinese side, the People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN, has dispatched a modern and highly advanced flotilla. This includes the formidable Type 055 guided missile destroyers, which some analysts consider to be the most powerful surface combatant in the world, alongside their advanced Type 052D destroyers, multi-role frigates, and large fleet replenishment ships that enable the task force to operate at sea for extended periods. The exercise is not limited to surface and subsurface vessels. A significant air component is fully integrated into the operations, with both nations contributing maritime patrol aircraft for long-range surveillance, anti-submarine warfare planes designed to hunt and destroy enemy submarines, and ship-borne combat helicopters for a variety of roles, including reconnaissance and attack. The stated objectives of the exercise are to enhance the interoperability between the two navies, and technical terms for the ability of two different militaries to work together as a seamless and effective fighting force. This involves synchronizing their communication systems, standardizing their operational procedure, and establishing a joint command and control structure capable of directing the combined fleet in a fast-paced combat environment. The planned drills are exceptionally complex and cover the full spectrum of modern naval warfare, including intensive anti-submarine warfare exercise, integrated fleet air defense against simulated missile and aircraft attacks, joint search and rescue mission, and practicing the enforcement of a maritime blockade, a key capability in any potential regional conflict. The strategic messaging behind Joint Sea-2025 is as powerful as the warship participating in it. The choice of location, the Sea of Japan, is highly deliberate and provocative. These waters are of vital strategic importance to both Japan and South Korea, and they are heavily patrolled by the United States Navy and its allies. By conducting their largest ever joint exercise in this sensitive maritime crossroad, Russia and China are directly challenging the American military posture in Northeast Asia. They are signaling that they will not accept a unipolar U.S.-dominated security environment in the region and that they possess the collective will and capability to act as a powerful counterweight. The exercise is a direct response to American-led security initiatives that both Moscow and Beijing view as hostile and aimed at containing their influence. This includes security pact like AUKUS, the trilateral agreement between Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, which will equip Australia with nuclear-powered submarines, and the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, or the Quad, a strategic forum involving the United States, Japan, Australia, and India. From the perspective of Russia and China, these alliances are instruments of an American strategy to encircle them. The Sea-2025 is their coordinate pushback, a demonstration that they can create their own sphere of military influence and cooperation. This is the No Limits Partnership in action. It shows that the deep bond between the two countries extends beyond political and economic support and is maturing into a genuine military intent. The drills are a clear statement that an attempt to pressure or isolate one partner will be met with the combined strength of both. The Trump administration in Washington is observing the Russia-China naval maneuvers with intense focus and profound concern. The massive exercise is viewed not as a standard training drill, but as a clear and present challenge to American interests and the stability of the Indo-Pacific. Secretary of Defense Peter Hegseth, in a statement from the Pentagon, characterized the joint operation as a provocative alignment of authoritarian powers designed to intimidate America's allies and threaten the principle of freedom of navigation. He affirmed that the United States military is maintaining a high state of vigilance and is fully prepared to defend its interests and uphold international law. Secretary Hegseth stressed that while the U.S. does not seek confrontation, it will not be deterred from operating in international waters and airspace and will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with its regional partners. In parallel with the military watchful posture, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is leading the administration's diplomatic response. He has been in constant communication with his counterpart in Tokyo and Seoul, reaffirming America's ironclad security commitment and coordinating a unified diplomatic stance against what he terms destabilizing military posturing. The goal of these diplomatic efforts is to present a strong, united front and to ensure that the Russia-China exercise do not succeed in creating divisions or doubt among the U.S.-led alliance. Meanwhile, the U.S. intelligence community is working overtime to glean as much information as possible from the exercise. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard and Director of the Central Intelligence Agency John Ratcliffe are overseeing a comprehensive intelligence gathering operation. Their agencies are deploying a range of assets, from satellites to surveillance aircraft and submarines, to closely monitor the drills. The key objective is to assess the true level of integration between the Russian and Chinese force. U.S. analysts are looking for answers to critical questions. How effectively can their command system communicate and share data? Are they capable of real-time sensor-to-shooter links, where a radar on a Chinese ship can guide a missile from a Russian ship? How sophisticated are their joint tactics, and have they overcome the inherent challenge of language barriers and differing military doctrines? The insight gained from this intelligence effort will be crucial for shaping the future U.S. military strategy and investments. The practical challenges of achieving true military integration between the Russian and Chinese navies are substantial. The Sea-2025 is as much a test of their ability to overcome these hurdles as it is a demonstration of power. The two militaries come from different operational backgrounds. The Russian Navy is built upon a long legacy of Soviet doctrine and hardware, which, while potent, is in many cases older than the rapidly modernizing system of the Chinese plan. China's Navy, in contrast, has undergone one of the most rapid and extensive modernization in history. While it initially relied heavily on Russian designs and technology, it has increasingly pivoted to producing its own highly advanced, domestically designed platform like the Type 055 destroyers. These differences in equipment, technology, and operational philosophy create significant friction that must be overcome to achieve true interoperability. One of the most critical element being tested in the exercise is the establishment of a unified command headquarters. For the duration of the drills, Russian and Chinese naval officers are working side by side, issuing commands to the combined fleet from a single command post. This is a vital step toward creating a force that can fight as one. Success in this area is more important than the performance of any single ship or aircraft. The specific components of the drills are designed to stress test this joint command structure. The anti-submarine warfare (ASW) scenarios are particularly telling. Historically, Western navies, led by the United States, have maintained a significant advantage in the complex art of detecting and tracking quiet enemy submarine. By conducting large-scale joint ASW operations, Russia and China are signaling their intent to close this critical capability gap. This involved the difficult task of coordinating a multi-layered hunt using surface ships from both navies, long-range patrol aircraft, and helicopters to collaboratively search for, track, and simulate an attack on a target submarine. Another crucial task is integrated air defense. This drill requires ships from both navies to network their advanced radar systems and air defense missiles into a single, cohesive defensive shield, capable of detecting, tracking, and engaging a swarm of simulated incoming anti-ship missiles and enemy aircraft. The ability to seamlessly share tracking data and coordinate missile launches between Russian and Chinese platforms would represent a major leap in their combined combat power. The joint Sea-2025 exercise cannot be understood outside of the broader economic and geopolitical context that has driven Moscow and Beijing into this tightening embrace. Both nations are currently facing intense and sustained economic pressure from the United States and its Western allies. Russia has been subjected to crippling sanctions aimed at isolating its economy and hobbling its war machine in Ukraine. This economic strangulation has made China an absolutely essential lifeline for Russia, serving as a primary market for its energy export and a source of critical technologies and consumer goods. For China, the pressure comes in the form of sweeping trade tariff and restriction on access to high technology policies vigorously pursued by the Trump administration. The United States Representative Jamison Greer has been a central figure in this economic statecraft, implementing policies designed to counter what the administration views as China's unfair trade practices and to reshore critical supply chains. This sustained economic campaign has created a powerful incentive for China to use its growing military might as a form of leverage and as a way to signal its resistance to American pressure. The naval drills are, in this sense, a physical expression of a partnership that is increasingly defined by shared adversity. It is a strategic alignment born of necessity, a coalition of two great powers who see the U.S.-led international order as the primary obstacle to their national ambition. The warship sailing in the Sea of Japan are therefore symbols of a much deeper economic and political convergence. Their joint operations are a declaration that they will stand together to resist Western pressure and will collaborate to build an alternative multipolar world order that is more conducive to their interests. The immediate fallout from Joint Sea-2025 is being felt most acutely by the nations in the region. Japan, whose western shores are in close proximity to the exercise area, has reacted with predictable alarm. The Japanese government has launched a formal diplomatic protest, condemning the drills as a destabilizing action that needlessly elevates regional tensions. The Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force has been placed on high alert and has dispatched its own ships and aircraft to shadow the Russo-Chinese fleet, a standard procedure to gather intelligence and assert its own presence. For policymakers in Tokyo, the exercise is not an abstract geopolitical event. It is a direct and tangible threat to national security, reinforcing the case for Japan's own ongoing military buildup and a strengthening of its security alliance with the United States. South Korea finds itself in a similarly precarious position. While a treaty ally of the United States, it shares a complex and vital economic relationship with China and a tense border with Russia's sphere of influence. Seoul is forced to perform a difficult balancing act, expressing its concern over the military maneuvers without unduly antagonizing its powerful neighbors. The presence of such a large and hostile naval force so close to the Korean peninsula is a source of significant anxiety and complicates South Korea's strategic calculus. More broadly, the exercise is likely to accelerate an arms race across the Indo-Pacific. The over-display of Russo-Chinese military power will compel other regional states, from the Philippines to Vietnam, to reassess their own defense needs and to seek closer security ties with the United States. The drills also significantly increase the risk of an unintended incident at sea. The concentration of so many rival military ships and aircraft in a relatively confined maritime space creates a crowded and tense environment where a miscalculation, a technical error, or an overly aggressive maneuver by a ship captain or pilot could quickly spiral into a major international incident. In conclusion, the joint Sea-2025 exercise represents a watershed moment in the evolving security landscape of the 21st century. It is far more than a routine biennial training event. It is a bold political proclamation of a new strategic reality. The emergence of a de facto naval axis between Russia and China. This is a partnership that has moved beyond rhetoric and is now demonstrating a tangible and growing capacity for high-level joint military operations. While the path to achieving full and seamless interoperability between their disparate forces remain long and challenging, the ambition and the political will are clearly present. The scale, complexity, and strategic locations of these drills signal a shared and unwavering commitment to challenging American maritime supremacy and to establishing a multipolar security order in the Indo-Pacific. The world is now witnessing the steady consolidation of a Russo-Chinese military bloc that will undoubtedly pose the most significant and enduring strategic challenge to the United States and its allies for the foreseeable future. The gray hulls of the Russian and Chinese warships maneuvering together in the Sea of Japan are the harbingers of this new and more contested era of global power competition. The decision made in Washington, Moscow, and Beijing in response to this development will shape the course of international peace and security for decades to come. Many of my listeners, like 70%, have subscribed to my YouTube channel. And so many of you don't even know that you have subscribed. And that is actually what makes the show going. It's almost like you're making a donation to the show. So that's why I ask again and again, because it enables us to grow and grow and grow. And we're going for the long haul here. And listen, if this is your first time listening to World Global Conflict, you don't have to subscribe. You guys, your first one's on me. But if you have watched this show before, it's like you are freeloader now. So all I would ask you is, if you have seen this show before and you like it, help me, help my team here. Hit that subscribe and like button now, and we will continue to build the show for you. That I swear. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. That's all for me for today. I will see you soon. Bye for now.